kidding?
Well, I've been stood here for about a minute now, watching Clone 1 dancing away, and I don't think he even knows I'm here.
I'm gonna go out and say he doesn't.
We'll wait to find out.
Ow! What was that for?
What was what?
Oh, didn't you just throw something at me?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. I guess it was just my imagination. Yeah, I think he's getting worse. Roll the titles. Hi guys, my name is Chris if you didn't already know, and welcome to my show, SmegChris. In today's episode I'm going to talk about...
Don't say it.
Getting back into running.
Never mind.
Okay then. I'm not going to talk about how I got into running in the first place, as I plan on making a different video about that. No, this one is about how I got back into it. It was a very long process, like many years. It doesn't help that I keep getting aches and pains the older I get. Trapped nerves, plantar fasciitis, chest infections.
Been hungover.
Moving on, I did a lot of running between the years of 2007 and 2009, and then around 2010 when I started with my trapped nerve, everything just fell apart. You know, like me. I had stopped running altogether. After that started easing off, over the years I would run pretty well here and there, but then I would also falter and not run for a while. I do have a friend whom I call Miss Motivator, who joins me every now and then. But obviously she can't run with me all the time, and so I'd stopped running for a little while and I just felt like I wasn't properly getting back into it. Wow, I was actually able to say properly correctly. I usually find that word hard. It got to the point where I wasn't running at all, and I had this one thought in my head: if I don't go running tomorrow, I'm just going to give it up forever. That made me go out and run. It was kind of like reverse psychology that I tricked my brain with. Shh, don't tell my brain, but I do that with it sometimes. Are you talking to me? No monologue, sorry. It was at this point that I decided to start my running all over again. So like when I first started running, I did a 3-mile course around a local country park. And I would keep going back there to do that 3-mile run until I did it in under 30 minutes. For years that goal escaped me because I kept starting on and off. Because as you know, I get lazy. A lot. It also didn't help that I had plantar fasciitis around that time. It's not easy running when you've got a bad foot. Then 2 years ago, back in 2019, I started to get better. I even got to beat that 30-minute limit eventually. Did you use a baseball bat? Why don't you go back to listening to the music on your headphones? After I beat that 30 minutes, I had every intention of going out to other places to run further. Then, my stupid foot started playing up again. Playing? No. Headphones? Now. Meh. He's a nuisance. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was on about my stupid foot. Because of that, I stopped running for almost a year, which meant starting all over again. So last June, that's what I did. Back to the country park to run those 3 miles as fast as I could. Again, I eventually got past that 30-minute limit. That's when I started going out further, running 4, 5, 6 miles at a time. The problem I faced at that time was lack of motivation. Sometimes it was from having no energy. Also laziness, which I've already mentioned. Or I was busy fighting with the cyber ghost or telling off Clone 1. Without my Miss Motivator, I do struggle to get out of the door and run. Not literally, I can fit through a door. It was mainly the thought of those hills that I had to face. That's a major problem with Sheffield, the city I live in. So many hills! But that's when I set myself the next task. To beat them. And trust me, I have. It's very rare these days that I find a hill that I can't get up without stopping. I found that one of the ways to keep going if you're struggling up a hill is to look down at your feet as you go. Before you know it, you're at the top. Or you trip over. But don't let that stop you. Some of the hills that I could never do before, I conquered. Proudly.
Who are you kidding? I think you meant smugly.
Yeah, you're right. After that I started running 7, then 8, 9, even 10 miles without stopping. Then I decided that my next mission was to go further than that. And I succeeded somewhat, as the recent 14 miles I did would attest to. It wasn't all good though. It turned out that time it wasn't lack of motivation or lack of energy, but the fact that my body just could not cope. Just before I got to 12 miles, my legs started locking up. The rest of the way, I look like Percy when he runs.
It's not funny.
Yes,
However, my goal is still to try to reach 15 miles in one go, and without my legs locking up. Once I've achieved that goal, I aim to go back to doing 7 or 8 miles at a time, but start going faster. The problem is I still do struggle to find the motivation to go out at times. So easy to think, nah, it's too cold. When you run, you warm up. Or it's too hot. Well, if you can, run early in the morning or late at night, when it's a bit cooler. Or you might think, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. Or the day after that. Or you get the picture. But it's not always that way. Sometimes you can't stop me. I've found a way to help with that. I plot out a route in my head, start to finish, and that's all I can think about. Then I pick a day, and off I go. Like that 14 miles I did. The reason I'm talking about this is because I wanted to share some of the tricks that helped me and may help at least one of you, because I know how hard it is to find the motivation to exercise. I really need to get my brain back in gear on that one. I'm sorry, but are you talking to me? No monologue, just the Smeggies. Oh, shh, reverse psychology. I hope some of what I've said has helped. For me too. Anyway guys, it's now time for me to go. All that's left for me to say is thank you for watching and subscribing if you have, and liking this video if you did. Until the next time, peace out. You guys suck. I'm sorry, clone one. There is another way of motivating yourself to do some exercise. Buying the proper clothing for it. Obviously not this, I don't run in this shirt. For example, recently I bought some new shorts that actually fit proper. The other shorts that I was wearing, they had sort of this mesh dangling down and it sort of rubbed against the inner thighs of my legs. Yeah, they became sore. Also, I've got a nice running t-shirt that keeps me cool. It's also good for absorbing sweat. And a nice new pair of trainers, that'll motivate you. It certainly did me.